Big Mama felt a little chill in the air, so you already know what time it is. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is actually my first time making chili with ground turkey. I usually do ground beef, and I do understand, like, it's just more flavorful in general, but the beef been hitting a little heavy lately, so we just gonna try to lighten it up doing the ground turkey. Where I was a little nervous is like usually when I make things with ground turkey, since it's so lean, I was like, okay, I usually put a little like coconut oil in there to increase the fat to give it a little bit more flavor. And like as I was grinding this, I was like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not gonna do that this time. Mainly because of this seasoning blend here. We are gonna make our own chili seasoning, and I do have that recipe already posted on my Substack, so you can check that out. It's very simple to make, but it packs so much flavor that I was like, okay, like I think I could do without the extra like little bit of fat in there. And y'all know I love me a good frozen vegetable. Like I know that upsets some people sometimes. Oh, you shouldn't be using frozen things, you should just chop it yourself. Yeah, whatever. I'm not trying to hear that. Like I just know that that's one less thing I gotta do if I have these frozen vegetables. So the fajita vegetables, those are peppers and onions, which is exactly what you would be putting in here anyway. I did add some extra onions because I was like, I need a little bit more, but I was like, no, I need some more fajita vegetables because it just wasn't enough pepper. So that's kind of how I did that balance. And I'm gonna show y'all the garlic because I always see people like getting all those like fancy tools to like do things with garlic. All I do is like grate it like this, and I feel like it gives it the best flavor because how you manipulate the garlic matters. So grating it does give it a nice amount of flavor versus like slicing it, which would give it like a milder flavor. I feel like when you do the thing where you like smack it with the knife and then cut it up a little bit, I don't feel like I'm getting enough flavor when I do that personally. So I do whip this thing out and I grate my garlic on here. I'm sure there are like other tools that are probably better for this, but this is the grater I have on hand. And whenever I talk about grating garlic, they're like, oh, it's too much time. It's really not. Like I did that in real time. It didn't take no time at all. And there was some fat garlic cloves, okay? If I had smaller ones, it would have took even less time. But yeah, I wanted to get some of the liquid out of this pan. There was a little bit of oil, but mostly it was just like the water from the vegetables and the meat. I wanted to get that out. I didn't want to cook the meat any longer. But I will say, pro tip is to season in layers. Like you saw, I already added some seasoning while the meat was cooking, and then I'm adding some more seasoning. I'm going to continue to do that throughout this process. Like, do not just dump your seasoning in at one time because you'll develop the flavor better when you have added the seasoning at different points. And really everything is just dump and go from here at this point. Like I have all of my cans and stuff opened up to the side. And safety first, y'all, okay? Close them cans up as you go. So I'm dumping in my tomato sauce and my Rotel now. How you put these things in, I would say like what you end up buying does matter, but not as much as people make it seem. Like I'm using tomato sauce and Rotel. I'm using Rotel because it already has like its own flavors in it versus crushed tomatoes, which kind of has the same effect. But every time like I'm making tomato based things, I have so much leftover like tomato paste and tomato puree. So I don't like doing that. I just rather do the Rotel where it's all seasoned and then I don't have to have the leftover tomato stuff that I'm not going to do anything with. And I'm going in with kidney beans in mine. I know some people put black beans in their chili. I've actually never tried that. I don't know what that's about. But please do not come over here telling me chili don't have no beans in it. We're going to eat chili with beans in it every time. Why don't I just eat a bowl full of tomato meat? Please explain. So yeah, we will not be eating chili that does not contain beans, okay? I feel like the beans give it that real substance. Like you want this to stick to your ribs, especially since it's turkey. Turkey meat is already like less heavy than your beef and everything. So we want the beans in there so this could just like really be heavy on the stomach on a nice cold day. All right, so now that we have everything mixed in here, I am gonna add some brown sugar for sweetness. It's not gonna make it sweet as much as it will balance the flavor, I did add a little bit of water because I didn't want this to cook too fast. I wanted it to take its time and like really get those flavors together. You know, if you feel like yours has enough liquid, you don't have to add that little bit of water. But like, we're gonna take our lid off every couple minutes for maybe like 45 minutes, and we're just gonna stir. You'll see like the liquid is at the top, but at the bottom I'm really working at stirring it because it's kind of like stuck to the bottom, but not in a bad way. Like, that is the flavor developing. So my eye has been running so hot lately, so I'm having trouble like just doing a simmer because that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but this is kind of like a low boil, and sorry about that. But yeah, so we just started every once in a while, and now here we are. Let's stick a bay leaf in there. I don't know why. It's just like, why not? They were sitting next to me. So I'm taking my bay leaf out, and at this point you can see how much it has reduced. Like, just giving it that stir, letting it boil, and that flavor has really concentrated into everything. So it's like all married together now. So you got to taste it and then adjust for the seasonings. I didn't add a lot of salt. My seasoning blend does not have salt in it, so I definitely need more salt at the end. And I was okay. It's still a little acidic, so I'm gonna add a little bit more sugar. And that's actually all there is to it, everybody. So that's really why I like to cook. I like to show people recipes because I know that it is a time commitment to cook, but once you really get a good recipe, it doesn't take as much time as you think, and you have something that's very hearty and a lot better than a lot of the takeout, because we all know it's going downhill. Okay, so I had some cornbread. I'll tag the short that I made the cornbread in. It's actually store-bought this time, surprising. But yeah, so make you a nice hearty bowl and drop any questions that you may have in the comments, and make sure you follow along for more very easy and delicious recipes. Bye.